Welcome everyone to our post-week market review. So today basically we're going to be going over what's happened in the week, some substantial moves, some significant key levels that we've now established, and just sort of overall price action for that week. So beginning of the week, we saw this big bullish candlestick, bullish momentum carrying price above our 200 moving average, and from there we sort of saw continued consolidation with a rough sort of common top side and bottom side resistance and support. As you can see, we had this massive bearish drop on the Wednesday. That was following the FOMC news release on Wednesday. As you can see, that just completely drove price down. Obviously, we do have trading AUD USD. We do have an 80% correlation with gold, so a lot of things that happen to gold will happen with AUD USD as well. So that's that little insight for you. So one thing I do want to point out is that overall we saw a bullish push at the start of the week, followed by consolidation in this area. FOMC sort of wiped out all of this price action from sort of the Sunday market open to about 6 p.m. GMT or BST, should I say, on Wednesday. Price carried itself down, and then we've sort of seen continued consolidation after that. So we've sort of seen a sort of step up to then coming to a step down. As you can see inside of the sessions thus far, you can see that we are still holding up that rough pattern that we noticed. So for example, if I go down to our minute 15 real quick, I want to give you a little insight into AUD USD, little tips and tricks. Feel free to write this down because it is actually some source. So one thing I want you to have a look at when you look at these sessions. So we have this indicator here called trading sessions. It simply just maps out trading sessions, gives us a better understanding of what's actually happened inside them. So as you can see for AUD USD, right? So we have our Asian session here. So Asian session is normally creating the range for that day. Inside of our London session, which is this yellow box here, we tend to see price sweep either the highs or lows for from the Asian session range. And then inside of our New York session, we either see continuation or we see reversal from the price action or from the move that's happened inside of the London session. As you can see, same thing happens here. We see price create a range inside that Asian session. London opens up and we sweep the Asian highs. We enter into that New York session, and then inside that New York session, obviously here we do have to take into consideration that this was on the back end of an FOMC, a high impact news event. But same sort of thing. You can see that we created the range. Price ended up sweeping either the low or the high. In this case, we swept Asian highs. And then upon New York session, we saw that massive reversal. Same sort of thing here. You see the price creating that range inside the Asian session. London session sweeping either the highs or lows. In this situation, the lows. New York session began, and as soon as we sort of left that crossover from the London session into the New York session, you saw that reversal. And same thing goes for pretty much every week. I'd say this is about sort of a 99% thing that happens within AUD USD. Very, very interesting. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to our hourly time frame and really go over what we could expect to see coming this next week. So we are in this overall sort of consolidation area as of right now. We understand that there will be a significant move either to the upside or to the downside. However, one thing I will point out is the downside. The move to the downside is a lot more likely as of right now, just based on current price action. For example, we can draw a simple little trend line here, going back to the basics. We can establish sort of a rough support level where price keeps pushing down to, and obviously we have this sort of resistance level here. So inside of this consolidation area, we are seeing price creating sort of lower lows and lower highs. I'll show you where I mean. So we have our lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So if we are to continue that same pattern, then we're going to see price probably open up bearish, create a lower low, and then followed by a lower high. However, of course, there is always the possibility for a bullish move as well. We could potentially see price upon market open in the Asian session. We could see price sort of move back towards that 50 moving average, and then once we see that London session kick in, we could see Asian highs swept, and we could start seeing price push somewhere near to our sort of 200 moving average, which would be around the level of around 0.70450. Keeping it short and sweet, not going into too much detail because there is literally like 3 of you watching right now, so there's not much point. I am putting in the effort. obviously you have to start small, you have to start somewhere. So I feel like we've gone over enough in this post-week market review. Obviously, if you are watching this right now and you're listening to what I'm saying, message the bot and let me know, or message our support and just let me know. Because if you are, I'm thinking to create some sort of like founders club, or some sort of like, just for the people that were there early and like really believe in this sort of like in this push, in this move, they believe in Purefx. It would be really, really nice to know if you are watching this. And of course, if you're watching it, make sure hit that subscribe button, because there'll be many, many videos in the future, not just technical analysis or market breakdowns. There'll be a bunch of more stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our post-week market review. Overall, we saw sort of a step up consolidation followed by a step down consolidation. Interested to see where the market goes next week. We didn't have a great week in comparison to week one, but I think we still finished off with 11% last week, which is, I mean, 11% is 11%. We're outperforming the S&P 500, and that's all I care about. So, yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you are watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I will catch you in our midweek technical analysis. Let's get another trading week. I'll catch you all tomorrow, Monday. Look out for our signal that will come. Probably first signal tomorrow will probably be sort of in that London session, upon sort of once we've seen that manipulation between sort of the empty gap between Asian session, the empty gap after, we'll have a better understanding in the markets, and we'll probably be able to send some sort of position in for London session. So yeah, hope you've all enjoyed, and I will catch you in our midweek technical analysis video.